Buena gente, hoy vamos a terminar con, así tal como lo escribí, en, ¿cómo se dice? En la misión de Trazacaminos de Honkai Star Rail. Esta va a ser la última parte que vamos a terminar leyendo, del cual nos quedan, creo que dos capítulos de Seridra, y nos quedan Marzo y Dangen. Verán acá que todo esto lo tengo completado, excepto Seridra, Marzo y Dangen. A ver, para recordar, sí, quedan dos capítulos, o sea, nos quedan 12 mejor dicho. O sea, creo que, a ver, ¿qué hora es a todo esto? Sí, son las 7 de la tarde. Vamos a poder llegar. Así que no damos vueltas. Vamos a terminar con lo que hemos dejado. Y bueno, vamos a escuchar la historia de Seridra. Va.
I dreamed that the Imperator statue stood before the world-wearing altar, her gaze level with that of the gods. Then, blood gushed out from the statue's orifices, and the people, in cheers and elation, washed their hands in that golden blood. The tyrant's life will end with violent death. None will weep, and all will cheer as her statue topples. She will die before the dawn comes.
A vengeful aristocrat, one whose title was stripped by the Imperator, thus spoke.
We cannot agree with your excessive deeds. You have imprisoned Trebios' split selves, demanding that divine authority regress into the ruler's mouthpiece. We will reveal your future with the prophecy. And tell in truth, your crusade will indeed be a smooth path. Yet in the same breath, we see omens of your death, a demise in an absolute pure darkness. Even so, please excuse us, as our eyes continue to be drawn to your crown's flames. Dux Vitorum. We don't exactly hate that name.
In the name of Yanisopoulos' priestess, holy maiden, and oracle, thus spoke the Imperators, Dux Vitorum.
Allow me to remind you, your life is now on a countdown with the fall of law, and you will become law. I must confirm, is our deal still going strong? Is the future I promised you more satisfying than the future in the prophecy? Ah, you are as resolute as always. Good. Oh, as ever, this prison of gods, Amphoreus, and all mundane and average worlds needs someone like you. A daring ruler. Let us end this despicable extrapolation together.
Amphoreus' Theoros, the Imperator's co-conspirator, Lycurgus, thus spoke.
The Imperator betrayed the Flame Chase Alliance. And I was the sinner who paved the way for her achievements. Like how a deep-sea fish cannot escape the tide's push and pull. I granted her an end fitting for a tyrant. Her dying smile, gazed towards my tear-swelled eyes. She commanded me to wash away all sins and filth, and return a blinding dawn to the holy city. She commanded me to set up stones and monuments, in lightless seabeds to commemorate our friends. But who will remember her achievements? I will rest with her in a lonely song.
Electra, the last heir of the ocean, who played music on the waves alone, spoke thus.
Please record the truth of my life, dear author. No need for words of praise or solemnity. Just as I once instructed Dux Carminum, the histories of rulers are not for recording our merits, but for warning future generations. As for why the Imperator died, and what reproach she would face in life and death, those should be left for the new world to judge. Now I have personally entered my end, a self-flagellation. Let the boiling gold covering the holy city be stamped with my name. For I am certain I have won half a move against the gods. And this unfinished game will be left to the future to reach completion.
Saridra, the only Imperator the Holy City had ever seen, spoke thus.
Jamás, jamás voy a olvidar las pupilas de Saridra cuando muere. Ya me quedó en la cabeza el trauma ese cuando muere, cuando cambias la página y estas pupilas de Furina, iba a decir. Bueno, se parece a Furina. Las pupilas de Saridra desaparecen. Chabón, no puedo quitar la cabeza. ¡Ah! Bueno, vamos a continuar. Vamos a terminar con la epopeya de Furina. ¡Ah! La epopeya de Saridra. Bueno, vamos a continuar.
Who will win? The fanatical followers of the Eon of Erudition, or the audacious plots of the monarch playing against heaven? The Atavis search forest's monkey creatures, the steel soldiers reviving the Emperor, that Theoros' visage of arrogance. On her chessboard, all faded to null.
In the name of Amphoreus, I will grant freedom to the blindly faithful.
The monarch stood before the inorganic throne, driving the scepter into the Emperor's vacant gaze. Even the gods beyond the sky shall crumble like the Titans, as she swears to seize the glory of conquering the stars. Who will win? The immortal faithfuls of the Eon of Abundance, or the storms dancing between the chessmaster's fingertips? The pawns slay the birds, the knights trample the wolves, the rooks smash the trees, and the queen severs the head of pestilence.
In the name of Amphoreus, I will grant eternal rest to the immortal.
The Cienjo lays forth the ocean's tribute, which the monarch grants to her loyal Gladius. And upon that night's sorrow-marked visage appears a smile, precious and rare. Who will win? The raging waves of war from the Eon of Destruction, or the sharp blades of the Empress that has never tasted defeat? Even in the face of the power that swallows the stars, neither monarch nor subject faltered. They would prove their golden blood outshines the lifeblood of the gods themselves.
In the name of Amphoreus, I will grant destruction to the destruction.
The monarch's core flame supplants the flames of annihilation. Soldiers drink deep of the golden blood of the blemished one. She has slain the wellspring of tragedy, once again usurping destiny's crown. Who will win? The light of the esteemed gods beyond the sky, or the core flame lighting up the world in the Imperator's heart? The fury of the stars surges forth,
boiling at the edge of the galactic empire. Mighty factions will surge into her realm, yearning to seize back the splendor of old.
In the name of Amphoreus.
Stellar winds scatter the enemy's remaining ashes as golden blood once again congeals into familiar epitaphs. The master of the infinite cosmos lifts the edict high, declaring to her boundless, ceaseless realm.
I shall conquer the heavens, and all stars shall submit.
Chuckling, the Imperator tosses her final pawn, her previous delusions withering away during the game. She wiped off the formations that were purely imaginary and caught a glimpse of rust blooming upon the throne. On the night before the monarch faced fate, she left behind a grand dream of conquering the stars. In time, she shall become but a humble pawn, so that this grand illusion retains a sliver of truth.
This world's game is nearing its conclusion, but in the distant future.
For the raging and burning ambition, for the flame chase through 30 million creations, for the Imperator's realm and all her citizens. Who will win?
I will win. Amphoreus will win.
Y así terminamos el capítulo de Ceridra, monarca del ajedrez, epopeya compuesta. Vamos con Van Hang, per Marsur Terrae. Epopeya 1, bestia de la antigua tierra desolada. Epopeya 2, dragón reparado de la tierra. Epopeya 3, dios del abismo sufridor. Epopeya 4, rebelde rompejuramentos contra el destino. Y disculpe, estoy tomando gaseosa. Menos mal que no me están viendo. Epopeya 5, voluntad eterna de supervivencia. Bueno, será interesante. Quiero verle de marzo también. Epopeya 1, cuando te llamé madre. Epopeya 2, la misteriosa dulce celestial rosada. Epopeya 3, nota de Jiangsu. Epopeya 4, nota de Belobog. Epopeya 5, nota del Expreso. La verdad será interesante porque como no tienen nada que ver con Amphoreus, viene a ser como su... creo que van a contar el origen de los viajes que tuvieron con el Expreso Astral. Así que va a ser interesante. Quiero ver... esto es lo que más me interesa. Así que bueno, vamos a empezar con Dan Han. Epopeya 1, va.
The ancient chaos was shrouded in silence and shadow. The giant dragon's offspring was born from the earth. Sweet dreams had smothered the giant dragon's eyes and ears, and as they slept, the 100 eyes of Aquila had already opened, and Fagusa had begun to stir the playful waves. Yet Georios remained weighty and silent. Layer upon layer of peaks enveloped the dragon, cradling them in a bed more grand than any in existence. The giant dragons spent their childhood in darkness. From the moment their bleary eyes blinked open from haze of slumber, they hungered to feast on crude iron and drink deep of molten lava. Until one day, they raised their head, and with a low, guttural voice, pleaded to glimpse light. The Titan lifted them up by their ribs, slowly raising them. The dragon's spine sliced through the strata of rock, cutting open the soil. When they reached the surface, they summoned mist woven of the fire of the stars, as though seeing themselves clearly and in full through the eyes of a giant bird. The giant dragon walked the earth alone. The Titan knew they were lonely and terrified too, and so sculpted new beasts from flesh and bone. In that wild, barren world, the giant dragon led the beasts of the earth. Excessively long life gifted the giant dragon with eyes that could pierce the veil of years. They witnessed the separation of day and night, as well as the entanglement of reason and romance. And even Kefali did not neglect to share with them a chalice of golden blood. The ocean teased, saying, even should the earth sink utterly, they would not rot. Ever since they opened their eyes, the giant dragon rarely returned to slumber. And thusly, that mesmerizing dream that occasionally burst forth at night etched a trace on their memory. The gods they were familiar with were in this dream, and they were as immense and imposing as ever, yet had lost their freedom. Just what manner of magnificent pathstrider could imprison the Titans as mere reflections? The giant dragon dreamed also of their own path, that great breath from the heavens, or perhaps from beyond even the heavens. They dreamed of silver shards amongst the stars, reflecting the form of another giant dragon. That great cerulean dragon approached Amphoreus, the distant whispers roiling, becoming a roar engraved in the earth. They recognized the meaning in that low roar. Its name, permanence.
Así comenzamos. Bueno, o sea, en este caso no hubo diálogos, no hubo nada. Así que es interesante saber cómo continúa. Bueno, capítulo 2. Bueno, Epopeya 2.
In the years spent wandering the earth, the giant dragon always remembered the Titan's words for their worth. The beast of the land surrounded it in protection, while twisted beings shuffled and roared, and delicate chimeras climbed up its shoulders. After, the tiny humans came into being. They dashed alongside the giant dragon, then, in the blink of an eye, disappeared across the land. Yet, the deep irises of the giant dragon saddened in gloom. The ancient creature saw, earlier than the Titan did, hidden in the deep ocean, the incoming doom. The giant dragon recalled, at the moment that strife was born, the chalice of plenty sighed, and the heretical tide spread from the seabed. Bearing their bone-gnawing pain and agony, Georios tightened every fiber in their body, no longer hearing the call of their creations clearly. The giant dragon once swore an oath at the Titan's breast. And now, the dragon silently turned and departed, leaving the plateaus and mountains of a secluded world, and entering the bustling cities humankind crowded. Thousands of years later, the giant dragon realized those tiny creations of Kefali had rooted their civilization in time.
How can there be such a huge Dromus?
Dromus? No, that's a walking mountain of gold.
Curious residents were amazed at its appearance, while greedy brokers calculated its value. Yet, the giant dragon simply walked in leisure, not harming a single building of any stature, nor paying heed to anyone. It quietly listened to the people's language, and its form dissolved in the flames of war. Many years later, Aquila closed their eyes, and the giant dragon's steps were finally halted. A sword master who broke the waves stopped its way, and a ruler, commander of the chessboard, looked up with inquiry.
Are you the Dromus that has been attacking all states?
The commander invited the giant dragon to hunt the divine flames together. The giant dragon nodded, but it did not look at the commander, and never mentioned where it came from. Its timeless sight had already seen past the Flame Chase's final plight.
Georios shall be executed here!
The Titan, in a painful daze, closed their eyes with a sigh. Suddenly, the mountains shook and the land cracked. The wounds dealt by the Black Tide, once mended by the Titan, now tore the land apart again. The calamity of lands asunder. Who should shoulder such a duty? The giant dragon sunk into the earth in answer. For the earth was the breast of Georios, and the dragon's birthplace. And from that day forth, Amphoreus had a new legend of how a giant dragon collected the broken lands and once again made the earth whole.
Bueno, acá cambia. Bueno, se nota que tenía sentido que era un drama la imagen. Así que bueno, vamos con la epopeya número 3.
Another century of the Chrysos War. Rust, wails, and the blood of living souls seep into the earth, into the giant dragon's decaying bones and flesh. The trembling bedrock is the giant dragon's eyes. They see Dromuses reduced to laborers and food, mythical beasts turned into weapons of war. War and flames extinguish all their siblings, yet the giant dragon is powerless, left only with bitter silence and memories filled with guilt. For Earth's trial is to bear the anguish of every living being that walks its surface. Upon the edge of doomsday, the giant dragon's will lies shattered, its scales broken. What greeted them is not a flower-covered Aranova, but a long-fallen black sword.
Though we are strangers, please surrender the core flame for the dawn.
Dawn. Dawn? If this puppet of destruction yearns for dawn, then what awaits at the end of the flame chase? The torment of the Black Tide, the sacrifice of their kin, Is it an undeserved destiny? Or merely futile lament? The twisted rocks rise like a roaring tide. Yet the Swordmaster shows no fear, merely sighs, as if long accustomed to such sights. The rusted joints are shattered, one by one. The cracked husk peels away, spilling golden blood. The earthquake that engulfs Amphoreus lasts for 3 days and nights. In its final moments of defiance, the giant dragon suddenly realizes this flame chase is nothing but the kindling of self-pity, the breeding ground for calamity. Yet, Earth's end is not dimmed by the shadow of the dark blade. In that special recurrence, the blazing sun extinguishes itself to set the destruction aflame. At that time, as the giant dragon sinks into the earth, still chewing on the pain of betrayal, it hears the footsteps of Evernight.
I need a helper to watch over time until the very end.
Evernight waves her sleeve, bathing the giant dragon in a memoria tide. And so, the giant dragon sees the past and present of Earth, and understands that the starry sky is forever out of reach. The 33,550,337th eternal recurrence. The demigod Terravox feigns their fall, using the tides of memories to dilute their existence, forging an arc with Earth's core flame. In that 1,000 years of defiance, heroes of golden blood meet their tragic end, while the giant dragon remains deaf to their plight, only silently gathering their exiled kin. The pact with Evernight is simple. Time would erase the pain of Earth and cradle it in peaceful slumber among its own. And Earth shall become Time's ally, for it alone can keep watch until the end of the world.
Ahí están empezando a conectarse las historias. Ahora se está conectando con Larga Noche, o sea, 7 de marzo, modo oscuro. Arrevolú. Bueno, epopeya número 4.
The flame-chasing heroes once scorned the giant dragon, for they refused to crush any foe beneath their feet.
A foolish earth beast.
A heretic who refuses to serve the flame chase.
After staying for several days, the giant dragon bids farewell to the Imperator.
The flame chase is a glory that belongs only to the children of humanity.
You are a benevolent beast. I had no intention of keeping you captive. A decree to protect innocent lives is about to be issued. All I ask is that you lend a hand to the flame chase in the future.
Losses are a constant on the flame chase journey, yet the giant dragon remembers their creator's command. After leaving the Imperator's capital, the giant dragon shelters small beasts upon its back, only to be hunted by city-states hungry for meat. Arrows pour down like rain, unable to pierce the giant dragon's skin. yet cause the creatures on their back to wail and fall. Until a mighty force of reinforcements brings this tragedy to an end. They raised a shield wall for the giant dragon, then marched forth and crushed that city-state.
The mountain dwellers are not a warlike people. Who are you?
The leading knight answered loudly.
I am Mountain Breaker, Geocles.
All the world knows that protecting all of Earth's creations is the creed of the Dromus Legion. The world also knows the Dromus Legion is ever victorious. The giant dragon under the Mountain Breaker is silent, yet unstoppable.
Endurance does not help with survival.
Mountain Breaker always speaks of his friend this way, while the giant dragon only responds with a low growl. Soon after, when word came that the flame-chasing army targeted Earth, the Dromus riders set forth in full force, all to protect their creator. On the eve of the march, the giant dragon receives a secret message.
Your one and only flame chase must be to slay your creator, and then fight to survive.
Records state, in the Battle of the Abyss, the Dromus riders were broken after Terravox's betrayal. The Mountain Breaker shed his armor and fell from the cliffs to his end. Earth carved the memories of the betrayal into its strata, until Evernight would leaf through them.
Oh, Earth. Time is willing to wash away that pain of betrayal.
As a memo sprite, the mighty Mountain Breaker reunites with the giant dragon. His voice trembles in a whisper.
That couldn't have been your choice.
The giant dragon only responds with a low growl. The giant dragon and their comrade dwell in the abyss for 1,000 years, until the azure dragon returns from among the stars, stirring up the dust of destiny.
He is one of our kind.
The giant dragon lifts their eyelids, gazing at the azure-colored long scion, knowing that dragon's body bears the sworn duty of protection. But in Mountain Breaker's eyes, there is only resolute determination.
That is the permanence.
The permanence can heal the divine form of the giant dragon. The permanence can guide life past its end. At the edge of the world, watching their comrade's silhouette fade away, the dying giant dragon shakes its head and sighs.
The permanence is not a panacea, but rather a bridge.
Y ahora, como notarán, verán que Dungeon, ahora ya cambiamos el droma. Y es solo el droma nada más. Y ahí vemos cómo se aparece el Permarsor Terrae. A ver si ponemos al índice. Ven, ahí aparece. Ven, ahí evoluciona. Seguramente, cuando leamos por ahí, por el 3 o por el 4, acá aparecerá larga noche, o sea, Evernight, o sea, marzo 7, modo oscuro. 7 de marzo, o sea, bueno, Popeye número 5.
Years later, gazing up at the vast starry night sky, I often ponder, what does the permanence truly mean? The countless souls entrusted by Terravox still surge within my chest, like an eternally burning furnace. I once thought about finding them a home, and tried to communicate with them in my heart. And yet, the living beings of this world, they are now inseparable from me. As if from the very beginning, they were a branch of my own bloodline.
Inseparable?
After I told everyone, a heated discussion broke out in the express car.
Will you turn into a little chimera and snuggle up in our arms?
March 7th lets her imagination run wild.
Maybe he'll become a baby seal.
A magical beast would be fine too. I've always wanted to see that species.
These are the reassuring words from Himiko and Mr. Yang.
No matter what he becomes, Dan Heng will always be Dan Heng.
Her words are unusually poetic.
But if you become a Dromus, you absolutely must let me feed you red soil.
Don't you even think about it. Sometimes I have dreams like this. Countless beings flee alongside me. Behind us, black floods blot out the sky as if to devour all signs of life. In our darkest hour, the living beings form a bridge of dragons, and I lead them limping towards the starry sky. At the end of the vast procession, a lone giant dragon comes to a halt, watching us depart into the distance.
The children of Earth will always find their own path. Thank you for being their bridge.
Something stirs within me at the moment of awakening. Perhaps the legacy of the permanence lies not in recreating flesh, nor in the merging of bloodlines. One day, while browsing through the databank, I noticed an update on the universe's animal species. In an ocean-covered planet, a new species of seals evolved, with a penchant for bumping into things. On a barren desert wasteland, evolved a herd of red soil-craving beasts. Many familiar silhouettes are now active in the cosmic ecosystem, yet they are not my old Amphorian friends. This is their rebirth. This is life's way forward. Perhaps, just as Terravox wished, I've become a bridge bearing the weight of their life. They once shattered the battle formation of the mountain dwellers, tore open Giorios' chest, swallowed the core flame, only to resolutely pass it on. Creation will always betray its creator, just as witnessed at the dawn of civilization. Frail beings betrayed the dark tides, climbing onto land, ascending the branches high, finally betraying their home and gazing upon the stars. The furnace in my chest still pulses. In the gaps between the heated torrents, I sometimes find myself in a daze, catching glimpses of that colossal figure in the cosmos's cracks. It was a giant dragon named the Permanence.
Y así terminamos el capítulo de Dungeon. Y nos queda solo uno. La verdad que interesante el capítulo. Pero primero voy a reclamar recompensas. 120, ok. En curso. Sí, yo creo que faltan 5. Y estas 5 sería la de Siren. Que la vamos a completar solamente cuando terminemos el capítulo de Amphoreus. Eso es lo que quiero creer. Bueno. Capítulo 3. 7 de marzo.
The gates of the Temple of the Three Fates gently open on the day of prayer. And the crowd crouched, whispering like the tide. The priests of Yanis listen to the prophecies. The unwavering axis of the scales of Talantin maintains balance. And only Orynyx remains silent.
Mother, teach me how to answer prayers.
The Titan tasked with time is as perplexed as a child.
Don't be scared. Please don't be afraid.
A familiar voice rings out.
Listen carefully. The future they want is in the past.
Like the first light of the morning star.
Really? In the past?
The child sank into a peaceful slumber of recollection, whispering revelations in their sleep. Until the masses crying out amidst the flames of war were swept away by the sounds of sharp swords locking. The fires of ambition incinerating the law.
Mother, usurper, assassinate the divine body.
Memories are tightly entangled by nightmares, with nowhere to run.
Don't be scared. Please don't be afraid.
An unfamiliar voice rings out.
Go to sleep. The ending they want is yet to be born.
Like the warm glow of the setting sun.
Really? Not here yet?
The child continues to sleep, waiting for the next waking dream. And when they opened their eyes, 2 of the 3 fates who once received offerings had already faded from the pages of history.
Mother, I'm already all alone.
The child let out a helpless cry.
Don't be scared. Please don't be afraid.
A familiar voice rings out in the mirror.
Just wait. The stars that illuminate the night will visit in the end.
Like gentle moonlight. The gates of the Temple of the Three Fates now close tight. People no longer pray to a titan who cannot touch the world. Within the inescapable dreamscape, the flower stems nourished by the black tide serve as a swaddling embrace, drowning the young child's soul.
Mother, help me leave this place.
But this time, they didn't receive a response. Only long years of yearning and pain. Like the silence of the Evernight. Days and nights passed. The years turned. Dust covers the glory of the past. The priests have forgotten this titan.
Waiting. Hate waiting.
They watched over the slumbering sprite, gazing at the dull mirror. But a fleeting mirage flickers in the mirror. The shining stars and the lights of the home. And a strange yet familiar voice.
Wake up! Our familiar old friends have already arrived.
Like the newborn dawn.
Arrancamos bien el capítulo de Larga Noche. Vamos con el segundo. Es tan tierna la voz de Marzo. Bueno, la epopeya número 2.
My friend, have you heard of the Rosy Celestial Maiden? Whether in a corner of the archives, or in the depths of a cave, you can always find legends about her. She had hair like a rosy pink dawn, and a smile that could thaw the most glacial ice. Some say she was Nikador's nemesis, while others say Nestia was infatuated with her. Oh, mysterious and beautiful celestial maiden. How I wish to turn into a slate, forever etched with your tale. Many claim to have seen that celestial maiden, either in the half-remembered dreams of early morning, or in the gossip and whispers after supper.
She once whispered in my ear.
She once saved my life.
She gifted me an ice crystal!
Her worshippers recite her deeds, even writing some into family teachings. Curious poets ask up and down the land, only to find that the details of these encounters are difficult to recount, even for the witnesses themselves. In the entire Holy City, there are none who can provide proof of her existence. It is not known since when the Celestial Maiden was always mentioned together with time. People recite her name during prayer to beg for miracles to appear faster. It is said that even in the selection of priests of time, girls with pink hair are preferred.
They still didn't pick me! Ugh, maybe I need to go dye my hair.
The brunette candidate was upset, but the examiner responded with a smile.
Don't forget the Healer of Twilight. Has a head of pink hair? She's a descendant of the sky.
Scholars and poets discuss at length the origins of the Rosy Celestial Maiden. But all mothers tell the same tale. That princess came from beyond the sky. Her shooting star, like crystal ice, pierced the fog of the Veil of Evernight. She made friends with the Titan, and whenever the month of Evernight descended, they would meet again. The children loved that tale. Therefore, as the moon turned and shifted phases, the story became true. But someone always questions, unable to read the air.
There are no worlds beyond the sky. So how can the Rosy Celestial Maiden come from there?
Rosy Celestial Maiden. A world beyond the sky.
The reckless adventurer takes out the photostone, claiming it is the true work of the Rosy Celestial Maiden. The citizens laugh at this tale, with few accepting it as true. After all, long before the guests beyond the sky arrived, the legend of the rosy celestial maiden had already covered the world. So, my friend, have you really heard of the rosy celestial maiden?
Capítulo 2, bueno, Epopeya 2 completada. Seguramente el capítulo que viene ya se transforma en la carta y veremos la carta de Larga Noche. Marzo. Bueno, seguimos.
Before arriving at Amphoreus, our last stop was Dan Heng's homeland, a place called Xianzhou.
Xianzhou is just a general term. This starship is called the Law Fu.
I had some wonderful times there practicing swordplay. By the way, which is stronger, the bow or the sword?
I'd say the sword. It can cleave a mountain in half.
You've been watching too many Immersia.
I've been working my butt off just to avoid using a bow.
Come on, let's become weapon masters together.
To master a skill, one must first find a mentor. And I ended up with 2 of them. So, sometimes I run laps, sometimes I lift weights, and sometimes I do both at the same time. Looking back now, those days were really fulfilling.
No pain, no gain. Am I right?
Between sword practice sessions, I occasionally hit up the food stalls in Arum Alley to recharge with some delicious eats. Oh, Master Yun Li was right. These berry pheasant skewers are absolutely delicious. Hard work pays off. This girl's been up at the crack of dawn every day, and finally defeated countless formidable foes.
I can testify. March really did defeat countless training dummies.
Those wooden dummies aren't exactly easy to break. It takes real skill. Every hero's story needs a villain. And when it comes to the great heroine March 7th's nemesis, it's definitely gotta be Scott.
Rather than a freight skiff, maybe an IPC eco ship would suit him better?
Ugh, why?
After all, he's got a knack for talking like animals.
During the decisive battle, I defeated Scott with my epic move, Star Shatter Shard Supreme!
Did you actually master that move?
Well, naming moves doesn't cost anything. There's still some space left, and I just happened to find a nice photo.
The floor is yours, Master Dan Heng.
Don't be ridiculous. It's clearly Dan Heng's brother here.
As I thought, March has some hidden powers there too.
Qué recuerdo cuando los finales que hicimos del evento de Marzo Cacería. De todas maneras le hicimos sufrir al Scott. Bueno, se lo merecía. Igual, como verán, ya se transformó la carta de Marzo, o sea, de Evernight. Cierto que, miren, ponemos al índice. Recordemos que el capítulo 3 era, sí, la nota de Jiangsu. Ahora vamos a ir con Belobog. Ha puesto 40 millones de rupias, que no existen acá, a que si hablan de Cele, también hablarán de Broña. Y si hablan de Broña, también hablarán de Cele. No puede estar sino una ni otra. Así que vamos a ver. Y si no hablan de ninguna, bueno. Vamos a ver.
In memory of our first trailblaze together. The 3 of us.
On average, we got a wanted poster for every 3 planets we visited.
If I could have used my hidden powers back then, they wouldn't have dared to draw me this ugly. Playing hide and seek with Hook was fun. Those kids under her command have quite the hidden talent.
When both players in hide and seek are experts, it will turn into a contest of who can last longer without food.
On the day the overworld and underworld were connected, I too took a seat on the first cable car. The chairs were so hard that day. My butt was killing me.
Let me teach you a trick. Just keep standing instead.
Then how could I call that taking a seat? For the sake of walking smoothly towards tomorrow, we sealed away the truth of the decisive battle, along with our memories, in a box. The juice that day was delicious. I want to drink it again.
Ugh. That's Jim Roger bread soda.
And what's with that March 7th themed blue and pink color in there?
That's just food coloring.
Hey, you two! Don't ruin the nostalgic mood! Visiting Yurillo again for the Soulworm Festival, I put on some pretty clothes specially for the occasion. Oh, look! Don't I look like a princess?
So that's how you've seen yourself all this time.
I want to change my clothes and become a devil too.
Little ice bear. A sweet little Snow White ice bear. I wonder if it's found any friends yet.
I think I saw it in Penacony. Hey, why don't we turn it into a universal social media star?
That niche is already dominated by trotters.
That big guy who once raised his fists against us is now the hope for Belobog's revival.
Mr. Yang was practically drooling watching that.
Too bad he wasn't there that time.
Not necessarily.
By next time we visit Yurillo, will it have turned into an ocean planet?
Then wouldn't those polar bears have to be renamed water bears?
The data shows that Yurillo's environment is slowly recovering, but the ice shouldn't melt too quickly.
Time to remove those floaties from the shopping cart.
Qué recuerdo de Yarilo. No, igual, hermosa está esa skin de marzo. Lástima que es marzo conservación y no la uso demasiado, pero esa skin es muy lindo de marzo. La habían dado gratis hace no sé cuántos meses, pero la habían dado gratis ese entonces. El único skin que no tengo es el de Firefly. Ah, me gusta el skin de colegiala. Qué paja, no la voy a poder comprar. Así que bueno, y vamos a terminar con el último que sería notas de... A ver. Notas del Expreso. Creo que a partir de acá veremos algo sobre Larga Noche. Así que estén atentos que con esto cerramos el capítulo. El video, mejor dicho.
I heard I was once frozen in this ice block, drifting all over the universe.
That's one way to go on a cosmic hitchhike.
If the conductor hadn't hit the brakes back then, I probably would have punched a hole right through the car, huh?
Stop being dramatic. The Express was the one that actively scooped you up.
I remember there was some six-phased ice left after it melted. I used it to make a little figurine. Mr. Yang explained that it's called a figure, and then made me watch anime with him all night.
That's the highest honor he can bestow.
I want a figurine too.
Every morning, the Express crew has breakfast together, but they're not always on time. I can't help it. I'm still sleepy.
Next time, get up earlier and set an alarm.
People who can get up right as soon as their alarm goes off are terrifying.
This kind of person is capable of anything. My camera's full of Pom-Pom's photos. It's so much fun dressing up the conductor.
Pom-Pom used to have a turtleneck uniform, but they've rarely worn it since March arrived.
I love my room so much. I tidy it up every single day.
Looking at it now, that photo wall must be the power of memories.
By the way, I've been meaning to ask, where's the wardrobe?
Take a guess. I remember Tychean, my most trailblazy of trailblazes. That grand debut cost me quite a few credits.
So? What exactly happened?
I saw a ball by the road, so I just casually kicked it.
And then, bam. It flew right into the ceiling, through the venue.
And scored 100 points, too! We'll travel together forever and ever.
That line sounds familiar.
Memories weave the past, bit by bit. They stretch long behind me, like shadows on the path I've walked. I wonder... what stories will the future me create?
Me encanta Marzo. Bueno, ya terminamos el capítulo y casi todas, así que bueno, vamos a hacer un repaso de las páginas anteriores porque me sorprendió. El señor Yang me explicó que esto se llama figura y luego me hizo ver anime con él toda la noche. Entonces, vuelta es otaku. La gente también, porque dices el mayor honor que... Me sorprendió, Dios. Yang es otaku. Después la tripulación. El pompón, sí, esto ya lo vimos. Ya le puse el trajecito. Después de la habitación. Me encanta que tenga todas las fotos. ¿Y cómo miércoles sacó fotos en escenas donde ella no estaba? Bueno, como dije, terminamos los 12 capítulos. Pero, como sabrán, son las 8 de la noche, así que bueno. Faltan 5. Seguramente esos 5 sean de Siren. Y los desbloqueamos en el capítulo final. Ay Dios, estoy un poco nervioso con lo que vaya a pasar. Así que nada más que decir. Lee todos los capítulos. Ven, faltan... Ilumina el camino de 13 buscallamas. Y vamos 12. Como dije, el número 13 se desbloquea en el capítulo final. Así que nada más que decir. Gracias a todos por acompañarme. Y el capítulo que viene, el video que viene, arrancamos el capítulo final de Amphoreus en Honkai Star Rail. Como dije, para apreciar todas las epopeyas y la saga de los héroes de Amphoreus, desactivé la cámara para que podamos leer todos. Pero el capítulo que viene ya vuelvo a activar la cámara. Así que nada más que decir. Suscríbanse al canal Jules Gameplays y también a este canal secundario Jules Gameplays 2. Síganme en X e Instagram y la plataforma morada. Muchas gracias a todos por... Muchas gracias a todos por acompañarme, un saludo a todos y nos vemos en la próxima.